Hello, that's a Seinfeldism, isn't it? Feeling like a bit of a sellout. We don't normally do motocross. In fact, I think this might be Infomoto's first ever motocross bike review, at least on a serious motocross track with a serious motocross model. But this one's not ordinary. I am very interested in this bike because it's Triumph's first ever motocross bike. Steve McQueen might argue that, but you know what I mean. Come with me. In the modern era, it's their first motocross bike, and indeed the first in a full range of motocross and enduro bikes. And they have serious ambition to be competitive, not just on a showroom level, but indeed in racing. They're entering the MXGP, among other things. They've got some gun riders, they've got a gun team. But you can't understate, or you can't overstate rather, the magnitude of the feat of entering a segment all new. It's one thing for a manufacturer to build their first adventure bike or to build their first Lambs bike, for instance, but this is all new. The other mob, Honda, Kawasaki, KTM, the works, they've had decades and decades to build up to this. Triumph has gone in completely cold. And you can imagine, you know, just how embarrassing it would be for the brand, Triumph, which calls itself a premium brand, and rightly so, if it wasn't up to scratch. So they put a hell of a lot of work into making this happen. How did they get going? How do you even start is my question. Well, they reckon they basically bought all the competitors' bikes, everything. Stripped the paint off, just made them white, and just tested and tested and tested and tested and rode them and rode them and rode them, and just sort of figured out what they liked and what they didn't like, and then come up with some kind of vague plan to make your own, and to make your own without being a copycat. All through this development, there was rumours that it was more or less a rebadged KTM. It's not true. This is without question a ground up Triumph motorcycle. To not only build a motocross bike, but a competitive motocross bike, well, I reckon there'd be some tense boardroom meetings. It was actually delayed. I think it was supposed to come out around October of 2023, and they said, nah. I believe they weren't quite happy with the chassis. But I admire that. I admire that they took their time and said, hang on, we're going to get this right. You can imagine how many stakeholders would be involved in this thing. And sorry, mate, Charlie's not happy with the front end feel. We got to wait a year. So respect. I haven't been on a motocross track in 10 years now. And so I'm pretty slow. But what I can get a basic understanding of is, has Triumph built a serious player? Yes, without question. There are a few things I can pick up on even with me skating around trying to survive on this thing. Very, very revvy engine. This is the 250 class bike. There'll be a 450 class bike later in the year, and then some enduro models. Triumph are pretty tight-lipped about all that, but if I were a betting man, I'd say 350 and a 500 class, somewhere in that area. Splitting the difference there, it would make sense. But this is the first cab off the rank. And one thing that strikes me is it's all top shelf stuff. Beautiful KYB suspension, Brembo brakes, electronics. It was news to me that all these things come with an electric start now. I didn't actually know that. But we've also got a quick shifter. We've got launch control. We've got variable engine maps. All of these things which can be tailored on your mobile phone. So it's an advanced motorcycle. It's got the good gear on it, and weighing it at 104 kilograms, it's equal with the lightest in the competition. So I haven't ridden all the other models. I can't sit here and say this one's better than all of them, but speaking around the room, speaking in the pits from guys that really know what they're doing, it seems Triumph's taken this really, really serious, and only time will tell, and race results, if this thing can wear the crown one day, but wouldn't that be an achievement? Let's wait and see.
You know when they say your life flashes before your eyes just when you're on the moment of death? It's true. It's true. I cased a jump that hard, ground's still shaking. But, you know, Christopher, thanks to the wonders of this modern KYB suspension, here I am. Fit as a fiddle.